Ready?
I'm chewing.
Chewing.
I have a cookie in my mouth.
Oh man,
It was a tasty cookie.
those some of them. Sometimes they hit the spot.
They're sometimes important. All right. We ready?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Fade to black. Off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sound Guys. My name is the Neighborhood Nick, and joining us today is the one, the incredible only, the
Johnny Banjo.
Mr. Johnny Banjo, rocking the laptop.
Mr. Johnny Banjo.
Woo!
Special thanks to some classic royalty-free background music, instrumental, midnight blue music, right from YouTube. Rocking the laptop, double speakers, right up on the mic. Controlling my volume. Nice stuff. What's up, Neighborhood Nick?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sound Guys. We are glad that you can join us today wherever you are listening or watching from. So, Johnny Banjo.
I'm not fading that out at all. I just hit stop. You know what I'm saying?
You don't like the music?
No, I did. I just, like normally, like if we really cared, like we'd fade the music out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but we just
we
decided to cut.
Yeah, no, yeah, we just shut it up. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a gate on my input anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, like, because you can't really fade out when there's a gate. It just kind of hard cut.
Oh, that's true. All right.
But cool song though.
I like it.
Thanks to Midnight Blue Music, we might use that for a little while. Till you guys contact us. It is royalty free, but I mean, we're broke. I shouldn't burp in the mic. I had some sushi earlier today. For those who are not watching, those who actually listen, the gimmick right now is that I hold the laptop right up to the microphone and do that intro music. Oh, microphones, by the way, what we're using, Countryman ISO Max. Countryman. Can't go wrong. Countryman ISO Max. Countryman ISO Max. And is it connected to a Shure bass, as the gimmick says. If it's a Shure, it's... Boy, I'm blowing this, huh?
You're sucking. I think you need to stop while you're ahead.
You may think it's a Shure, but it's not. It's Countryman.
Woo!
I had to get that in.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have an excellent show lined up for you today.
Or so we think we do.
What was that?
Right. I said, or so we think we do. I mean, we don't know. I mean, who's the judge? The viewers may be like, you know what? This show sucks. These guys, these sound guys, these players, these posers, they're never going to walk in this town again. You know, I mean, like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? These guys.
Until we're the last one standing and the only ones left to listen to and enjoy quality
Correct.
entertainment from.
Quality entertainment. It's always a PG-13 show. No F-bombs here, folks. So bring in the kids, bring in grandma, bring in the Orthodox. Let them listen. It's gonna be great. No F-bombs here. There might be a slight word that says crap or suck or stupid. Because some people
bad?
Some people think those words are bad.
Is that like? Oh,
yeah.
You know, we can't really dive too deep into all of that stuff.
It's a slippery slope, but
it's very slippery. It's a slick path.
Oh man, there's so many things you could say. Just like that. But we're not going to go there, folks, because it is a PG-13 show. So again, like I said, if the kids aren't already sitting in front of the old-time radio, you need to bring them in. They're gonna enjoy this. Hi, kids.
Buy a boombox.
My name's Johnny Banjo.
Mr. Johnny Banjo.
I like that name.
Hey, Johnny.
What, Nick?
Did you ever play Club Penguin growing up?
You know, I did.
Sorry?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, it was fun.
What did you think of it?
Well, I like to waddle around and meet new friends.
Did you ever have any strange conversations on that Club Penguin?
I did. And the sad thing is we can't talk about those conversations at this PG-13 rated show.
That's true.
But I was I didn't think much of it. I just kept on trucking.
Just kept on going.
The new Club Penguin, in my opinion, is probably going to be Animal Crossing, but that's just my...
Oh, by George. Isn't that great how... I don't... The Nintendo Switch is really, really popular right now, and I don't fully understand why.
Because we're all in quarantine. It's like
Well,
day 170.
I get that, but I mean, the Nintendo Switch as a gaming concept, I mean, how do you go from the Wii
Right.
to the Nintendo Switch?
Well, they had the Game Boy earlier. So isn't it just like a Game Boy revamped? They just regurgitated the idea. They were like, man, we need to make more things. We need to find a way to make more money because shareholders are mad. What are we gonna do? I don't know. What's that old thing we had? Game Boy, Game Girl, Game... Let's make one of those things. What are we gonna call it? I don't know. What can you do with it? Play games on it like always? You're right. Should we call it? Switch?
I think we gotta switch things up.
Oh, there you go. That's a good point. Yeah, thanks for bailing me out of that one.
And then someone was probably like, wait a second. Switch. And
Oh, that's where I need to have my sound effects. The hallelujah. You know what I mean?
And then the guy was probably like, no, I didn't mean that. That's a stupid name.
Well, it's like the joke that guy saw the commercial, like where they're trying to name the cookie.
Oh, wait, no.
He was drinking, he had his mouth full, and like, what are you gonna call this cookie? He's like, Oreo.
Actually, no, I think...
Yeah, Oreo.
No, because the thing about the Switch, and I think this is why they actually called it the Switch, is because you can switch it from being a handheld device. You can pull off the controllers and everything, and then hook it up to your TV.
How do you spell Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Cool. I always blow that. Why do they call it? Okay, here we go. Here's the answer, because I like to Google things. That's my job in life. As expected, one reason why the Nintendo Switch got its name is because of the main feature, the ability to switch gameplay from the TV to the Switch handheld screen. Another reason Nintendo chose to name its new console Switch is because the company hopes it will represent a shift in how people experience entertainment.
Oh, didn't they hit the nail on the head on that
Dude,
one?
this was published Dateline December 7th, 2016. We should have had this information in our heads.
We should have already known this, yeah. It was shameful. Shameful sound, guys.
Yeah, considering we're the sound guys and we're talking about gaming consoles, so clearly. Is the Nintendo Switch worth buying? That's the next thing that pops up in the auto suggestions with Mr. Google. Is Nintendo Switch worth buying? But it's not just Nintendo's own games that make it worth buying. The Switch is becoming an increasingly popular platform with other developers. That's kind of cool. They opened it up a little SDK. You'll find some of the big blockbuster titles on it, such as The Elder Scrolls. Whatever.
You've never played that one, have you?
Nope.
Yep. These new age games. We should go back to Age of Empires 2.
Oh, man. Age of Empires 2, StarCraft, Red Alert. Yeah. That's my jam. Tetris. Pong. I didn't like Pong very much, honestly. It's just like really... I liked the Commodore 64's version of... It was called Crackout. That was awesome.
Oh.
And it just was the music track that did it for me. It was sick. It was like this it was just awesome. It was upbeat, and you got little special pills that made your paddle like extend and block and force fields. Yeah, it was awesome. It really made the game far more engaging. It was called Crackout. With a K.
With a K.
With a K. Crackout.
With a K.
For the Commodore 64, folks. I'm sure you can download an emulator and use it, because it's definitely worth the... if you're into those type of, 2D games, for all those who are listening, right now, pull over to the shoulder and Google it. I don't care. If you're late for work already, what's 2 more minutes? Google it over and just boom.
Just pull over. Just do it.
That's a lot of dead air. But the point, folks, is that the Switch, asking, in terms of Nick's question, it's just popular because it seems like, there's all the current games and people can stay pretty current with it. That's all.
It's true.
It's not like your old Game Boy playing like Donkey Kong. I had 3 games on my Game Boy, I think. 3 or 4 games. I had Dr. Mario. I had Tetris. I did have Donkey Kong. I had Crash Dummies. That's 4. That's all I had.
I didn't get the Game Boy, but I got the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more rectangular, so you could kind of do things a little bit better. But here's the thing, and I got super jealous of my friend because he got a Game Boy Advance with the backlight
Yeah, that was a
into
big
the
deal.
screen. I had to attach a little headlight to light up the screen.
And they weren't LED back then; they were incandescent, so those batteries wore out quick.
Oh yeah.
If you were a heavy gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was trash. I think that's all I had. I couldn't.
But those were the cool days, though, man. Gaming was so simple.
I don't think I beat a single one of those games.
Really.
No.
Not even Tetris.
I mean, yeah, because Tetris is just a constant.
It's the greatest game to ever come from the Soviet Union.
Oh my goodness, the Soviet Union. That's the best thing. The Soviet Union is the best. What are you talking about?
Was.
Well, whatever. It'll rise again, just like the South.
One can dream. One can dream. So anyway, Mr. Johnny Banjo, what should we discuss today on the SoundGuys?
Well, yeah. What should we discuss? First up, I'm going to plug our sponsor, 1210.org. You don't know their name, but you should know them by now because they have the best clothing in the Western United States. It is funny. It is a family-friendly apparel. I guarantee it. Things that aren't going to make grandma mad or make mom mad or make your little sister go, huh? These are awesome things. It's 12ten.org. And if that's too hard for you, go to thisawesomeshop.com. I'm going to type it in my browser right now. That's AWE, right, Nick? Yeah, awesome shop. .com. Very long URL. But if you go to thisawesomeshop.com, it'll take you to some awesome things, such as t-shirts, hoodies, and apparel for everyone. And that means anyone who's looking to have a fun, sometimes family-friendly, but a faith-based message, possibly, and just plain fun. Like there's one here called Bowling for Pizza. That's a t-shirt. Why not? Why wouldn't you bowl for pizza? Because that's the same reason why we all go to bowl for pizza, right, Nick?
I love bowling for pizza.
Actually, I'm gonna
great.
click on that shirt. Oh, and they also have a commemorative shirt, 2020 Year of the Virus. That's pretty telling for the time we're living.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out 1210.org.
No. Go to thisawesomeshop.com. That's a little bit easier. 1210.org, you could. But thisawesomeshop.com for some amazing shirts. I'm looking at this Bowling for Pizza t-shirt. It's $15.
That's not bad.
It says, seriously, I'm going to read the description, then we can get back to the show. It says, seriously, who goes bowling these days? Just to bowl? Not anyone we know. When it comes to bowling, you've got to get some of that good old-fashioned bowling alley pizza. That's the real reason why you go. Admit it. With our awesome shirts, now you can. Our shirts are made of a thicker, heavier cotton, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So go to thisawesomeshop.com.
And if you don't want to type out all of that, 1210.org. Both work.
Hang on. Can't you just voice that? That should be easier, I think. Let's see. Hang on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not online? What? I'm in airplane mode. Nick, I'm in airplane mode. I can't do voice search. So anyways, what are we talking about today, sir? While I get this all turned on.
Well, that is an excellent question of what we are going to be discussing today.
Because it's all about topics.
Sorry?
It's all about topics.
It's all
Topics
about the
are
topics.
hot.
All about the topics. Hot topics. Get your hot topics here. Wonderful hot topics. So.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, coming back.
How come Ken Osmond is coming up on my thing? Who's Ken Osmond? What's he doing? That's another thing I don't like. Let me tell you about this real quick. Google needs to knock it off. Someone came up with the great idea of selling ad space to the search bar. I love it, but I hate it because I'm always like, people look at my phone and think, what are you searching? Oh, Ryan Seacrest is now coming out. So what that means is...
Why are you searching for Ryan Seacrest?
That's the question that someone would ask me. But the thing is, I haven't searched for Ryan Seacrest. They've purchased the ad space to put it on my smart bar so I can go, oh, Ryan Seacrest, what's he doing? Tap on it, and then it comes up as a trending topic. It's paid for by an advertiser. It's absolutely bollocks. I hate it, but it is what it is. It is the year in which we live. Everyone's buying ad space to be in front of your face. But, yeah, that is a thing. I was going to do this, though. I was going to... ThisAwesomeShop.com. Still trying to finish our sponsors. Cool. ThisAwesomeShop.com. Oh my goodness, it comes up. It's the first hit. ThisAwesomeShop.com is a clothing domain for 1210.org. So there you go, folks. I would do a voice search for that instead of trying to do 1210 because it's way too more complicated to figure out 12ten.org. Just say into your smartphone, 12. Jeez, really? You know, and we don't edit these shows. These are real time. Here I am bashing the actual home domain. Just say into your smartphone, ThisAwesomeShop.com. And it doesn't. Oh, it even took me right to the homepage, guys. Look at that. This awesome shop. For the viewers actually watching the podcast, look at that. Year of the virus. So do it today. Right now, ThisAwesomeShop.com. And do we have a promo code? I think we do. Enter in promo code SoundGuys, and they'll give you free shipping.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I hate paying for shipping, so.
I hate paying for shipping.
Can we use that promo code?
Maybe we should. Enter promo code SoundGuys today.
And be sure to tell us which shirt you got.
Yeah, put that in the comments because, yeah, it's important to know these things because otherwise, how can we gauge who's listening?
And it's important for analytics and
what you're wearing.
That type of stuff. And
that's a big word for you, Nick. Analytics.
It's an important word. But with every shirt that you buy from 1210.org/thisawesomeshop,
we'll drink a cup of coffee.
It also helps out the show for the sound guys. So be sure to visit those out. Check everything out. I particularly actually really do like that Virus 2021. I think that's a brilliant shirt.
Pretty clean. Some clean.
It's easy. It's easy.
The scripture says, if you survive, or if we all survive, you're going to want to remember 2020 in the most classiest of ways. Your own commemorative t-shirt.
Which everyone loves a commemorative t-shirt.
That's cool. Oh, wait a second. These turds are already offering free shipping. So we can't do Sound Guys. It says here, with a portion of proceeds going to support local charities and food programs, this is a win-win. What? We're all going to be in the... Well, fine, guys. So apparently, if you buy the 2020 Year of the Virus commemorative shirt and you use promo code SHIPFREE, you're going to get free shipping anyways.
Sorry,
so,
what was that?
Huh?
What did you say?
Ship free. Ship.
Oh, okay.
Ship.
Make sure you enunciate on that one.
Ship free. Oh, really? Like the alternative makes sense? Because all public bathrooms are still free, last I checked.
If they're open.
Well, possibly. I mean, truckers are still out there. They gotta poop somewhere.
Hopefully.
They gotta use the can.
Hopefully.
Actually, funny story. So on a Christian website, I did that accidentally, and I had a pastor tell me, "Hey, you need to double check the spelling on a word." He said, and he didn't even want to use the word. He was like so holy about it. He was like, "Oh, it's the third line, fourth paragraph." Oh. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, sorry. Oops.
Gotta keep it safe. Gotta keep it.
I guess. I think I was typing in shirt, and I left out the R because R and the T are, you know, it was a keyboard that was sticky. I guess.
And for all you little kids listening, I hope you don't try to spell that out.
Yeah, don't bother. It's ice cream. That's what we're spelling out. Ice cream. With that being said, apparently, yeah, go support your local charities and buy that shirt and use the code SHIPFREE. SHIPFREE. Woo! We don't have tunes for that, but we do have some music. Right. Dude, we need to start the show, man.
We do. We're already like 15 minutes in.
We gotta start the show.
So, speaking of wonderful advertising and everything, get some coffee in you, because we got a doozy for you today, and I think it's something that actually impacts all of us in some fashions, and that is the use of our Google searches for advertisements. All right.
What? That was on the rundown. Okay, tell me more.
Well, think about it. So,
I thought we were gonna talk about Cloak Penguin.
Well, we are going to.
Oh, we are? Yeah. Tell me, Nick, lead the show. You are the host.
We got both of these. Don't worry. We got two topics happening. But I want to, because we just had a very lengthy advert, I want to talk about the advert thing real quick. Because, let's face it.
You're welcome.
Whenever we're searching through, and I've had this happen with YouTube or even Facebook, Google, whenever we're shopping and everything, you know, these websites, they're sharing all that wonderful little information back and forth, and you get those little personalized ads over on the sidebars whenever you're on Facebook or Twitter now. And, the best part, though, is sometimes when multiple people are using the same computer. Have you had this happen?
Yeah.
When multiple people use the same computer.
That's a problem.
And you get some of the funniest and greatest ads possible to have on your Facebook. What do we do about this? I'm annoyed by it. I just...
Well, firstly, I think we should probably get microchips so that whatever device we use, it just kind of, once our hands interact with the device, then that microchip will identify us. And so then...
Where's the best place to put those two?
Probably on our right hand or our forehead.
Yeah, you think so?
And
should we put some numbers to it?
We should. And as long as there's 5G in place, I think it would work just absolutely seamlessly. Because think about it. If I'm gonna loan my phone to my comrade, I need him to use my phone. I'm going. Why are you laughing? I mean, I need to hear this. So
yes, my comrade.
I need him to listen to my comrade. I hand my personal my issued mobile device off to my comrade. He needs to use it for a second. His chip in his hand will identify these with a different device, and that's awesome because I don't need to have his blood on my hands or my blood on his hands. It needs to be equal partaking because you only live once. So I agree with that, absolutely. But I also personally love giving out my Wi-Fi information because I can tell what my friends are into when they come visit my house. And that's the best thing because we like to monitor that traffic. And that's really nice. And it's okay. I don't judge. Everyone's into something. So that's great. Some people, it's like the Christmas story with that always shows when little kid's dad got a lamp from the bowling alley. It was that long leg that went up, Remember that Christmas story? What was his name? Charlie? Billy? I forget. What was the kid's name in Christmas Story? It was Ralphie. How could I forget that? Ralphie. Yeah, you're gonna shoot your eye out, Ralphie. Remember Christmas Story? Nick? You never watched A Christmas Story?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's stop for a second. Oh my goodness. Let's back the truck up, okay? You know what I'm saying? Christmas movies. Don't you have like a movie that you guys watch for Christmas?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay, that's fair.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Ugh, okay. But
White Christmas.
Okay, White Christmas, Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye? Yeah. Nice. That's a classic, right? Having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. You know what I'm saying? Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen.
Albert Finney Scrooge.
Too many Christmas. You watch. Okay, too many. How many more?
Well, you also have Miracle on 34th Street.
Ugh, no.
Yes.
That's
Rudolph,
that's absolute heresy. Macy's just used it as a conduit to push off their new Santa.
But it's still a brilliant Christmas movie.
Holy smokes, man. You ingest all these movies for Christmas?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, boy.
So you also have your Rudolph. You have Frosty the Snowman. You have to watch the claymation Little Drummer Boy. All right. You have to get all those fun little claymation. You haven't seen those?
I'm good. Continue.
Those are the classics, dude.
Little
all right.
Drummer Boy.
And then you also have to make sure that you take a look because, technically, Die Hard's a Christmas movie, too. So...
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I don't watch it religiously for Christmas, but...
No, not yeah. I, but
okay.
It's still...
I think
still
we need...
one.
Okay, then we need to like really focus on this study. I'm talking about the religious movies that you have to watch every Christmas, no matter what.
All right, then that would be, most importantly, Albert Finney Scrooge.
Wow.
That one's the most important one. White Christmas with Bing Crosby.
I am right there with you. Yep.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's a mandatory one.
Ugh.
It's a brilliant movie.
Ugh.
Very important. Extremely important. Little Drummer Boy. Rudolph. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not the real life one with, what is his name? Mike Myers? Not Mike Myers. What's his name?
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that one. The actual animated one. Because of Max mainly. Max is
yeah, I understand.
Rudolph, and then you gotta get all those little claymation special ones. So you have Blue Christmas. You have to get that one in there.
Okay.
That one's a classic.
And these are, again, you watch all of these?
Of course. Don't you?
Every year. No.
What do you mean?
No. What are you doing in December? Just watching movies?
Okay, well, I live in the mountains, so we get snowed in, and we die in that house.
Oh, boy.
We don't get freedom. So what do? You watch movies.
Okay. Yeah, fair point.
Oh, and you also have to watch, I think it's the Storytellers, the Story Keepers. It's a little thing that does the entire, like, birth of Christ and everything. It's a really, really good animation.
Is it now?
It's actually really good. That one's important to watch also, especially if you have kids around. Then you get the full message of why Jesus was born on Christmas Day. But
God bless us, everyone.
yes, Scrooge. You have to watch.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas Carol. It's brilliant. It's so important. And then of course, people love to watch the stupid Hallmark Christmas movies.
That'd be my wife. Yeah, no, she does. But I mean but again, that's just kind of like those. They start playing those in July.
I know, it's horrible.
But okay, so is your list finished?
Yeah, those are the important ones. Sometimes there's a few more, but those
Holy
are about
smokes, man! Wow, I was googling just to make sure I was correct. I have like 4.
And those are?
White Christmas. That's at the top of the list. I watched that like 4 or 5 times. I love Bing Crosby. Big old blue eyes Bing, man. Awesome. Love that guy.
Okay.
Have a sack of sweet Valencia oranges. Hello, Pally. What you doing? And then after White Christmas is How Murray Saved Christmas. I love that. It's a little animated special. It's like
Really? Okay.
How Murray Saved Christmas. That's awesome.
That's an interesting one.
That's my wife and I. We have to watch that. Mando. We own it on Amazon Prime. It is in our Amazon Prime locker. We bust it off. We rub off the digital dust and we watch it every Christmas. And then a Garfield Christmas special. That's Mando. That's like 4th, but now we'll usually do. And then usually what's get before that is a Snoopy Christmas. We always have to do this Snoopy Christmas, and then Garfield Christmas. Those 4.
Okay.
That's Mando. Now my wife, she'll watch a bunch of other ones like, Grinch is on the list and things like that. But dude, I don't know, man. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. It's nice, but doggone it, man. Life is too drum and sad and dreary to bring that kind of nonsense into the world. I mean, I get it. I think maybe it's good for some people going through a specific thing, but Jiminy Christmas, man. I can't stand any more of that kind of sadness. Ugh. Oof.
But the whole point of is all that, is counting your blessings at the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Garfield Christmas brought in because, Garfield learned that life is more than lasagna. And he was like, it's more about family. It's more about friends. It's more about counting the moments that you have now.
You can't forget the most theological, most important thing ever. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets it.
Yeah, that's totally doctrinally sound. I saw that in the Bible. Which book and verse was that in, Nick?
That's
of the Holy Bible.
That's the book of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
chapter
precisely.
39.
Excellent. I would be honestly not surprised if chapter 39 was the correct chapter on the DVD that you have when you bust it out for It's a Wonderful Life. But yeah, anyways, the White Christmas though, oh man, can't believe it. And then talk about
that one's a good one.
White Christmas, whew, love that. Love it. And I was so bummed because the TV versions, they cut out so many of the good things. You have to get the extended play on the money, boom. It's just, yeah. And then also while we're on it, Sound of Music, original, absolutely. Forget that new junk that What's-Her-Face put out that NBC tried to do live or whatever. That was trash. Who was in that? That was, new, what was it? Sound of Music? Yeah, that's what I just said, right? I forget what I said. I say half, I have to listen because I forget half the things I say. Who was this chick? Maria. Who did Maria in the new Sound of Music? Live.
I didn't even know they did a Sound of Music.
Carrie Underwood. Are you kidding me? Come on. That's ridiculous. Julie Andrews, right? That was the one in the original one? Sound of Music original? Was it Julie Andrews?
I think so.
I think, right? Who was the original cast? Yeah, Julie. Oh, Christopher Plummer. He's a heartthrob. Oh my goodness.
No, this original Sound of Music was one of the greatest musicals
Oh
ever made.
my goodness.
Ever made.
And that right there, that cast is what made it. Julie Andrews. And General Von Trapp. Christopher Plummer. Oh, and Christopher Plummer. He was a heartthrob in the Pink Panther. Oh my goodness. Which one was he in? Pink Panther with Christopher Plummer. Which one was that? You remember? I love those flared out 1970s collars. Oh, it was in The Return of the Pink Panther. If you're listening, again, I don't care if you're late for work, pull over. You need to download the entire copy of Return of the Pink Panther. Because let me tell you something else. This guy, man, yeah, I'm getting all what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgic. Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers, phenomenal actor. Phenomenal. Great, and he was a serious actor too. He was in the movie Being There. That was fabulous. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, never mind. Peter Sellers, though.
Anyway, back to our original topics now. Since you brought up nostalgia, let's go back to Club Penguin for a quick second here, ladies and gentlemen.
Club Penguin.
Yes. So, I never played it. Did you know that Club Penguin ended?
A couple days ago, right? I didn't know it ended.
No, not a couple days ago. It actually ended back in 2017.
I did not know.
It's been a few years, but that doesn't stop people from finding alternatives to Club Penguin. And this was actually kind of surprising. This is an actual news story, ladies and gentlemen, that we want to share with you because we care about...
I found it on the BBC.
Yeah, man.
The Disney forces explicit Club Penguin clones offline. What?
All right, so this is actually a really serious topic. So please pay attention. Don't sue us and all that fun stuff. But yes, so Club Penguin, the original Club Penguin, I think that launched back in I can't even remember when that originally launched. 2005? Was that 2005?
I'm working on my little...
Look it up.
Slow. Oh, careful now. My little fingers are working as fast as they can, sir. Hold on. When
Back to work, white boy.
Club Penguin start? Thank you. With two R's. It'll work out.
What'd you get?
October 24th, 2005. Wow.
All right, so back in 2005, Club Penguin started. It's considered one of the first social media sites. All right? Kids especially would jump onto Club Penguin, start talking with random people all over the place. You did this also. All right? But here's the thing. Is in 2017, Disney ended Club Penguin, which for 12 years, having a social media site for 12 years is pretty astounding, actually. Because, I mean, do you know MySpace still exists?
I do.
That's horrible. MySpace still exists, but Club Penguin doesn't. But here's the thing. After Club Penguin ended, someone actually got the, what is it, not the algorithm, but the actual code for Club Penguin. And they made clones of Club Penguin so that people could still, live out those glory years and do Club Penguin. So a lot of kids were still playing or using a form of Club Penguin. And now, this is the serious bit, people, ladies and gentlemen, so you want to pay attention. It was being used for very bad things. That's the best way we can describe it right now.
Yeah, the article really describes it as very bad things.
We gotta try to keep it PG, Keep it low profile.
Yeah, that first one when I described the tour bus scene, I kept that pretty PG.
Yeah. Yeah.
About the member on your shoulder.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember that one. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that these were being used in essence to try to solicit children. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you have to be very careful with the internet.
No, duh.
The internet can be very useful, but it can also be very dangerous. So be careful with it.
Okay, Uncle Nick.
Pay attention. Pay attention, y'all. You need to.
Crazy Uncle Nick
You
says the
don't
internet's a
understand.
bad place. I should be careful with where I go. Oh, you think?
You gotta pay attention to these type of things.
That's good.
It's really important.
Sage advice. Thanks for tuning in. We're the Sound Guys.
No, we're not done yet.
We got awesome stuff
We
here.
ain't
Thanks for
done.
Neighborhood Nick for telling you kids to be safe out there on the internet. You've waited for the pay dirt today. Here we are, 30 minutes into the show. Pay dirt is, if you're on the internet and you're not being safe, you're dumb. So don't do that. Do what Uncle Nick said. Be safe. Keep an eye out, kids. Club Penguin. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. There went our lights. Why are our
All
lights
right, no,
go out?
but let's be serious about this one real quick. All right. How?
Yeah, let's.
Oh boy. Okay.
Pay dirt. Pay dirt, boys and girls. That's right. Safety tip number 1. Be safe on the internet. All right? Safety tip number 2. Trust the Sound Guys. Right there. See that screen? For all of our viewers out there actually watching us on that interweb as opposed to, listening to us in your car on your way to work or wherever you go and whatever you're doing. The Sound Guys told you, number 1, stay safe. Number 3, stay safe on the internet. Parents, watch what your kids are doing. Right, Nick? Is that what I'm getting from this one, Neighborhood Nick? Yeah.
That's partly it, but
All right.
I was trying to get into something else real quick.
No. I like where this is going.
Anyway, so with that in mind, all right.
Yeah, with
I've
that.
lost my complete train of thought at this point.
Well, I mean, why? What else would there be to think about? I mean, we've got a dateline here. The Disney forces explicit Club Penguin clones offline. It was dateline May 15th, 2020. It's part of the coronavirus pandemic. Apparently, it's been tagged as that. Who knows why that's a coronavirus thing? But whatever. Yeah,
Because people are stuck at home.
Sure. Let me just put it this way. According to the line, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and sexual messages flow freely on the unauthorized platform. And by the way, since this is the BBC, let's spell it the way they spell it. Unauthorized with UNAUTHORISED. Thank you. Unauthorized. Indeed. Disney said it was, quote, appalled by the website and has ordered it to close or face legal action. Reading this right off the cut of the jib there,
As you should, because it's an important article.
Club Penguin Online appeared to go offline on Friday afternoon. I like the way that reads. Club Penguin Online appeared to go offline Friday afternoon.
But all jokes aside, after all that happened and everything, here's the question. Here's the ultimate question, because ultimately safety online is super important. All right, especially for kids. We want to make sure kids are able to use the internet for all of its good stuff, gathering information, helping with schoolwork, using it for bibliographies, because no college student ever knows how to write a proper bibliography.
Thank goodness, let alone spell it.
Right? It's horrible. But here's the thing. Because we always like to have a little problem, but also a little solution.
We
What?
do? Not like our last episode. I had no solution. It was just like, well, here's a problem. You fix it. Here's some duct tape and penguin sticks and all, just whatever.
Stinks.
Popsicle sticks. I saw the thing in front of my face. I see penguin. Penguin sticks are better than what else the script said in here on the BBC's website. You heard it. Get some new penguin sticks in your grocery section. New edible penguin sticks. You can't buy them all, but you can have all 3.
All right, but here's the question. What is a way to protect children from this type of nonsense online? What do you think?
I'm just reading the article. This is awesome. I encourage everyone, go to the BBC, search for this Club Penguin article. this poor little 14-year-old kid, shocked by what he saw on Club Penguin online. Oh,
He's like, any kid can click on these mature sections and they just see all this inappropriate stuff.
he said. That's my best 14-year-old voice.
Is that what you sound like when you were 14?
Probably.
I've seen people advertise boop clubs and igloos. I've seen people ask for boops, and there's been a lot of swearing on there. And I've seen a lot of crazy things. I mean, it really put me off in going to those mature servers.
He has a little bit of a lisp, guys. Sorry about
The
that.
fact that a 14-year-old would also know the term server and understand what that means.
Oh, by now I'm sure they all would. I mean, are you kidding me?
But
I would
why?
expect, I would actually be disappointed if my 9-year-old niece wasn't able to, do C++, and actually, do some type
I
of
still can't do
lightweight
C++.
scripting. Well, see, that's because you have the wrong major, brother. You're kind of, I'm political science. I'm going to solve the world's problems with good thoughts and happy wishes.
I'm not a liberal. We don't do that.
Right, sorry, I am.
We hurt the world with our policy ideas because I'm a conservative.
Yeah, dude, these screenshots are pretty hardcore. That's awesome. And these are all penguins. These are all penguins doing these illicit things online. I didn't even know penguins were anatomically correct to able to have these. Like, this is, I mean, think about this. Like, penguins have these parts? Like,
Anyway, moving on from that topic.
very descriptive.
Yes, moving on from that topic. Now, here's the deal. Maybe I'm, in my conservative ways, old-fashioned. But what happened to just kids reading books?
Yeah, about
Does
that.
anyone read books anymore? Why are kids not reading books?
I have a problem with that. Well, dude, even the younger, like, again, my wife was looking at those kids books from, like, 70s, 80s, 90s, even turn of the century. They were bigger. There were more words,
Right?
more pages. You had a story. You had protagonists. You had an antagonist. You had actually like a start, a middle, a finish. You had a cliffhanger. You had a time constraint. What are we gonna do? How's the happy little fox gonna make it across the stream with all the corn in his mouth? I don't know. Now it's just like,
Yeah.
meet fox. Fox run fast. Fox have red tail. It's bushy and soft. The end.
It's stupid.
It's dumb.
It's bad.
We're raising some, yeah.
So here's the question. Is because of all this nonsense that's happening online, should we actually, and this is a thing that a lot of people I actually find don't like this, all right? There's actually the term screenagers. Have you heard this one?
Again,
Screenager?
screenagers?
Screenager. Screen.
I should Google it.
So basically the term screenager is that it's someone who was raised by a screen, like the big one behind me.
It's
all
a
right?
documentary.
Yeah. And so, like,
It didn't receive well.
well, no, because this is actually something I found very interesting. A lot of parents are actually fine with their kids getting addicted to screens, phones, video games, all that type of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I love playing video games. I played
Yeah.
video games growing up a whole lot. I'm on this stupid device way too much. We have screens surrounding us right now. Okay. We're
They
not
put
the
off
best-
a lot of heat. It's toasty in this studio.
and I'm wearing
lie.
a suit jacket. So,
Why, we don't know.
and he's got a vest on.
I haven't bathed in 2 weeks. It's coronavirus.
But here's the deal, and I think this is a problem, is that at least when I was growing up, before I got any electronical device, I had to read books. And here's the big thing, is my mother would not let me play games until I did some reading. And I think
Hardcore.
it wasn't that hardcore. I mean,
Compared today with a lot of parents. You have to read something before you can play your games.
well,
like, I
there's
mean-
usually like a chapter.
I like that. That's good. But what I'm saying is, I would say 1 out of 10 parents today are probably going to do that.
Well, I don't think any parents are doing it right now. How many kids, honestly, here's actually an interesting thing. William Shakespeare, the great William Shakespeare, hopefully everyone knows something about William Shakespeare. He had a working vocabulary of like 40,000 words. The modern American has a working vocabulary of like 4,000.
Sure.
We have dumbed ourselves so far down that a lot of people can't even read some of the great classics.
Yeah.
Tale of Two Cities, for example.
Sure.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Well, it's also partly that, most educated individuals that at least have some college, well, it's not unfortunate, but you're forced to push through those narrative barriers. You're forced to get into something that's going to, change what you're thinking about, change the words you use, paradigms, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think theater, honestly, is the best thing to do for that because theater forces people, and actually, let me take a side on this. Theater, people, oh, you're theater guys. No, the thing about it is this. If you do any form of public speaking, if you do any form of interaction with the public in general, a lot of people will pay thousands of dollars to go to these conventions like Toastmasters or all these. Oh, you need to learn how to address your audience. And no, I mean just go to college, go to a community college and take a
Public speak.
No, take a theater class because what it does is it teaches you to also address your audience. Public speaking, I've seen a lot of poorly executed public speaking classes that say, listen, just look at your imagination. No, there's all these theater classes. Will help you not only memorize what you're supposed to do, it will help you to equate movement with your lines, be able to engage an audience. Because in a real time, now voices, that's a different thing. You have to be able to engage and speak, people listening. But dude, just a simple class in doing that can also open up a world of respect for literature because you're going to actually have to read and memorize and focus on the words.
And I think that's something today, especially because of all of the screens that are surrounding not just kids, but teenagers and everyone, like grown adults are turning to video rather than books.
Yeah.
And it's one thing because one of the things I kind of like is listening. Listening is actually really important. But when you're listening, there's something happening, I think, that you can handle more listening than you can visually watching a screen or anything like that. But the art of reading is slowly dying away.
Agreed.
It's really dying away. And so, for example, I don't even think this book, this series exists, like is still unpublished and being printed. Did you ever read as a kid the Wishbone series?
Oh yeah, the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
Yeah, and it took the great classics. Mm-hmm. And, it dumbed it down so that kids could read it.
Yep.
But here's the thing. It was still helping
And then
learn.
PBS produced it televised on it to help the kids that didn't want to read,
Still learn at least about the class.
Let's learn about it somehow, but you watched it and you're just like, oh, Wishbone's going to go back in time to Hamlet. And
Yeah. But then nowadays, kids don't get that.
I liked that little puppy. He was cute.
He's an awesome little Jack Russell Terrier.
Was he? That was a beagle.
No, he's a Jack Russell Terrier.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, we need
You can look that one up, Mr. Google.
Wishbone
Mr.
dog.
Johnny.
And another thing is our search criteria in terms of like how we interact with a query on Google. We sound like such apes. Wishbone dog type, huh? Wishbone dog is question
Do
mark.
you do that? Do you not use full sentences when you use Google?
Not anymore. I gave up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Jack Russell Terrier. You win.
I always win. So, but here's the thing. And
Even when I lose, I win.
so here's the thing, though. I think the best way to actually protect kids from online is give them a book. I honestly think that because here's another little...
Hold up. Stop. But let's be honest. Let's be real. How do you... The horse is already out of the barn. How are you going to stop this in its tracks with a generation that is already glued to the phone at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old?
How?
Because, yeah, that's easy. Give them a book. Yeah, and it's like, really?
Well, you have to start. You have to actually start giving them books to read.
Okay, what we're talking about, this is going to be something that trickles down. We can't start with the current population. We need to euthanize them all and start over again.
No, I think you could.
Oh, really?
I think you could honestly start, with some proper books And this is the thing. There's a lot of books that you just, and this is the sad thing, I think, that a lot of this modern generation might need to actually start learning how to read again.
Right.
Start with those stupid, dumb kid books that's like, oh, the fox is running.
The quick
There goes
brown
the
fox played the
fox made a
bongos.
friend. But then start changing some of the vocabulary. So instead of saying the bunny, say the rabbit. And then once people start learning how to say rabbit, say the hare.
And in
you start
300
learning.
years, we'll be back to the renaissance of literature.
But here's the thing, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, no,
and
I hear you.
When we don't have kids reading books, any type of books, I mean, what's the number one, Google this real quick, what's the number one kids book right now?
Oh, I shudder. I shudder to think. What's the number one kids book
Look at that.
today?
What do we get?
We got nothing.
Wow,
Really?
that's disappointing.
Okay, it doesn't even... I got cookie crumbs on my laptop. It does... Nothing comes up in the Google's intelligence search. Hold on.
Okay, what's the number one
What
book?
are the top... What are the top 10? Top 10s... well, how would you phrase this? What are the top 10 children's books of 2020?
Yeah.
Of 2020. Yeah, let's do that. See what's up. The most exciting kids books of 2020. It's not going to do a rich seat for. I have to actually go to the website. So Google doesn't even care. Google's not even going to give me a rich result. The most anticipated. Oh.
Most anticipated.
No, the most anticipated picture books of
Oh, by
2020.
That's the thing, is that now everything is so visual.
Oh no!
Picture books
Oh man!
are taking over regular books. Like, how do we actually have kids use their imagination now? Like, one of the great things about Wishbone is imagining a Jack Russell Terrier becoming one of D'Artagnan, the Three Musketeers.
Okay, here we go. I got some. Finally, Google figured it out. So these books sound really heavy. This one's like they're all a bunch of emo kids. It's sad. The list of things that will not change. That's the number one book right now.
What?
Yeah. It's called The List of Things That Will Not Change. The next one is Grandma's Garden. Then there's another one called Nick Stone, Clean Getaway. Another one was What Stars Are Made Of. And then another one, Just Like Me. And then another one entitled, Oh No, Who Will You Be?
I'm looking up that first one real quick.
And then another one says, Everyone's Awake. And then another one says Robin Hood.
Which version?
Hacking material. It's like a hybrid Robin Hood now.
All right, so I looked up that first one that you said, the list of things that'll never change. I'm on Amazon now because that's what you do. At a time when everything is changing for, I don't even know how do you pronounce this name? B-E-A. Bea? Bay?
Bay?
Horrible. Who names their... There's probably some listener now that's like,
Yeah, I know. Well,
why
I
are you
mean,
insulting my name?
Well, okay, for the listeners who have named their kids Bay
Or B-E-A. What is
or
that?
Apple or Clementine or well, Clementine seems pretty fair. But I mean, for those who have comment, tell us a little bit what was the inspiration behind that, because that is true. As a father, I like to understand why we name certain people the way we name them. I mean, look at what Elon Musk named his kid.
So I actually found out, like, if you spell it out, it's like that X, then you have the weird alpha delta type thing. I can't remember. That's actually pronounced Ash.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Sasha or Zasha.
Okay.
And the A12, he did this on the Joe Rogan thing, is actually his favorite plane.
Okay.
It was like the precursor to the P-51 Mustang. or
So
something
they
like that.
essentially kind of just like imprinted some of their things into this person's name, this child's name, and okay.
All right, so anyway, back to this book. At a time when everything is changing for Bay, whatever her name is, and her family, the important things will always stay the same. A soon-to-be classic by the Newbery Award-winning author of When You Reach Me. And this is basically the thing. It's after her parents' divorce, life becomes different in many ways, but she can always look back at the list of she keeps in her green notebook to remember the things that will stay the same. The first and most important, Mom and Dad will always love Bea and each other.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's really complex. Oh.
When Dad tells Bea that...
A spider.
Oh, wait. Whoa. This takes a turn.
This takes a heavy turn, right?
So remember this one. Her parents got divorced.
Right.
When Dad tells Bea that he and his boyfriend Jesse
I saw that coming.
are getting married, Bea is thrilled. Bea loves Jesse, and when he and Dad get married, she'll finally have what she's always wanted. A sister? Even though she's never met Jesse's daughter, Sonia, Bea is sure that she'll be just like the sisters anywhere. As the wedding day approaches, Bea will learn that making a new family brings questions, surprises, and joy. And readers will discover why the New York Times called Rebecca Stade a writer of great feeling.
So here on the Sound Guys. So let me put it this way. You know, I love that we have all these social issues with our community and our world and our nation. But I think in general, I've argued this with film. I think it's too bad that we as a nation and as a people are so, I don't know, so afraid of our own insecurities that we have to project our own issues on other people. The problem is that if you are going to move in a particular direction or a lifestyle choice, that you should be comfortable with it, and you should allow people to be comfortable with how they need to be. But the problem is we've lost the sensibility of having conversation, agreeing to disagree, to have these, oh, well, I want to do this. Well, I think that's stupid. Okay, then so be it. We don't need to lose friends. We don't need to have heated words. We don't need to have a lot of, you can do this reasonably, sensibly, civilly, big words. And I think that unfortunately we've lost that. And now we're trying to program that into children's books and things to kind of prepare kids for this, quote, new normal that really, no, you have to figure this out for yourself. We can't, society can't do these kids a favor, and they definitely can't do them a favor by programming it into books that they're going to read. And by the way, to get the John Newbery Medal, I wanted to find out because I would like a Newbery Medal as well. So the medal should be awarded annually to the author of the most distinguished contribution to American literature for children published in English in the United States during the preceding year. There are no limitations as to the character of the book considered, except that it be original work. Honor books may be named. These shall be books that are truly distinguishable. Now, of course, the award are only authors or residents of the United States, so you can't be anyone else. You have to be a resident in the United States. But the contribution to American literature for children, it looks to me, and maybe it might be wrong, but if you are contributing financially, if you are writing books, whatever, I'm just basically throwing that out there. I possibly could buy myself a John Newbery Medal. I possibly could. As long as
there's always a way to buy everything.
As long as it dealt with whatever hot topics we have in the world at the time, such as we're dealing with, homosexuality.
Broken marriages because of people's unidentifiable sexual identities that they refuse to understand what's going on with their own lives.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. And there we go. Well, here on the Sound Guys, I'm
gonna get sued because I just said that.
No. Well, here on the Sound Guys, we just take a turn for where we want to go. The idea was to take care of kids, and Neighborhood Nick's plan was to help you understand that his solution to helping children in crisis and being able to stay off Club Penguin was to read a book. And I was going to simply suggest to him that reading a book could also be done on a Kindle paper. And the Kindle paper is also by default an electronic device which connects to your Wi-Fi. And I was going to ask him, prior to these shenanigans of this conversation we had, if that was something that he would consider acceptable in terms of reading material. Then he had the idea, just so we can recap what has happened for those of you who are just now tuning in, which I doubt because it's a podcast, not an FM broadcast. The question of top 10 books came to a piece of interesting literature that kids may be reading, and certainly going to be a top 10 of the 2020, children's books, and that's where we're at right now. I would say we could back the truck up and say, let's leave this horse back in the barn.
I do have to say this real quick. I do want to know.
Of course you do.
The content aside,
Of course you do.
I want to understand the vocabulary. I wonder what the vocabulary will be. Because this is my complaint about a lot of books, is the vocabulary is dumbing us down. Forget the content of a book. I think the vocabulary, for example, have you read Sir Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes books?
Yeah.
No one can read those today.
They're pretty wordy. I like it.
Not just wordy, but because of the vocabulary they use of a thesaurus.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people just can't understand those books anymore. And so, did you ever see the movie Tolkien?
Here's the deal. Hold on, though. No, I didn't. But here's the deal also. I think you're going to find a lot of people who are into specific genres that are going to be more reader-friendly as opposed to those. If you find folks who are into sci-fi, you find folks that are into, time travel films or historical pieces or whatever, they're going to be more well-read, I would figure. Because those novels, that's how we got Lord of the Rings, essentially. And then Lord of the Rings became what it is today, and the rest of the dumb folks are like, yeah, and I'm sorry, folks, I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying the Lord of the Ring fandom, the whole thing, created the mess that we're at. But it originally started with a real pure group of folks that were reading the novels, and then all of a sudden it went nuts.
Well, then, for example, I'll take that to, I love sci-fi. I like sci-fi. If you read some Star Wars books and everything,
Sure.
you could say, in reference, I'll use Star Wars, Chewbacca. He has
Right.
exactly. He has a bowcaster. It's basically a crossbow.
Sure.
And you can be reading a book, and there's two ways of saying it. He fired his bowcaster, or he quarreled his bowcaster.
Sure.
A lot of people, when they hear the word quarrel, will immediately think an argument. But in reference to a crossbow,
Sure.
it means to fire a bolt.
When you have context.
Yeah. So but a lot of people wouldn't know those
Sure.
differences. And I think that's an issue that we're just having today, is that kids don't have the vocabulary. They don't have the word sources.
We've slanged up everything so poorly that I think it was College Humor that did a parody on things that were considered racist, but they're not, or things that were not considered politically correct, but they were still true, accurate words that better described a situation than what our slang is. Yeah. But we know that you can't say that. That's I mean, dude, but where on earth is this show going, Neighborhood Nick? I mean, I'm trying to pull us out of the deep theological side. I get it. But I mean, I don't see where we're gonna solve the crisis here. The problem is this: it's much bigger. It's much bigger than trying to say, okay, you need to give a kid a book. I think it really comes down to a cultural aspect of understanding parenting. It comes down to a societal understanding of how do you teach kids. And honestly, this is really probably either far left or far right. You have to get in there and you say, listen, we're not paying teachers enough. We're not giving teachers ample side. We're doing all these crazy permutations of funding. It's like, okay, well, if you have this many kids, you get this much money. If you have this, let's give them that. Let's get a grant. Let's have Google send us a bunch of tablets. Let's run all these special things. And it's like no one's really focusing on the core meat and potatoes of it, which is let's get some instruction out there. Let's actually have structure. Let's have discipline. When something goes wrong, let's do it, because here's the deal. You're going to raise a kid who's 6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to become 18, and then all of a sudden what's going to happen? Now the judicial system takes care of him. My taxes, your taxes are going to take care of that person. So we really have to figure out a better way to say, listen, when you put someone into the system, we need to find a way to deal with it. And it starts at instruction, and it starts at the home. You need to be able to, and it sucks because you need a license to drive. You need a license to have a business. You need a license to be able to do anything, but you don't need a license to have a child. And that's very, very left-leaning. I know, but think about that. You don't need to have any type of instructions. I mean, in reality, you could have a home birth and you could just have the kid off the radar, and then you're like, oh, all right, now I've got this thing in the country. Think about that. And so in reality, we have all these other things, but we don't really teach anybody anything on how to actually rear the child. It's not instinctual for us. It's not like a cat can have a little kitten, and know it needs milk. I need to teach you to that's stay away from it. No.
No, that's fair.
So I think I love your idea about reading, and I think that's important. But I think that the matter at the hand is, especially with the coronavirus, where are we at now with needing screens? Jim Gaffigan made a great comment on the CBS thing. He's like, the very thing we've tried to take away from kids, we have to give back to them.
Yeah.
You know?
I would agree with that.
For online classes, for everything else. Is now we're back to screens. And clearly there's an addictive formula there. Mm-hmm. Man, if I know anything as a sound guy, it's really going to come back down to the culture of the entire society.
Yeah.
And it's going to start with good leadership. It's going to start with finally shutting down, ridiculous media. It's going to having like heartfelt conversation when the money stops paying for advertising dollars for all of your CNN and Fox and everything else, when it's more about ratings and airtime and not about getting out facts and news. That's where the problem is, because no one knows anything. Everyone just wants to get the highest ratings and the most viewers. And by the way, if you buy my T-shirt, no joke. I mean, because we gotta pay for this stuff. I mean, it's just like it's bonkers.
Yeah, it always comes down to money.
Love Penguin, everybody. You should Google the story. It's awesome. By the way, you're listening to the Sound Bros, and here's our top of the hour, bottom of the advertisement for the day. Apparently, if you'd go to thisawesomeshop.com, Google
or
this
1210.org.
Or 1210.org. If you Google thisawesomeshop.com, which will link you to 1210.org, you can find all these really cool apparel. It's fun. It's family friendly. It is wholesome. Some of it's faith based. You might like it. And apparently, you can use the promo code SoundGuys, or you can use the promo code ShipFree on select items. And some of those proceeds will go to support local charities and some awesome things that are currently hurting to help other families during the COVID-19 thing, which seems it will be never ending. Oh, yes. And that's where we're at right now. I just rubbed my nose for our viewers at home. Not supposed to do that.
Shameful.
Yeah, I know.
You're not even wearing a mask.
I gotta sanitize.
Well, on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is where we will close today's episode. Thank you for joining us.
No, we're closing. I have all these tabs open. I thought we're still.
It's been an hour.
Have we really talked an hour?
It's been an hour on this episode,
folks. As you can tell, the Sound Guys. I don't know if I should bookmark all these tabs and just
save those for another episode.
Oh man, I don't know if it's worth another episode. I'm sure. Well, shoot.
Is it interesting?
Oh man, a lot of it's interesting.
All right, well, let's save it then for.
Maybe.
Let's save it for the next episode.
Man, oh man. Well, it's not that interesting. We'll figure it out. Folks, I'm, what am I, Johnny Banjo?
Johnny Banjo.
Oh, wait, I can get my music. I get my music going.
That was Johnny Banjo, ladies and gentlemen.
Neighborhood Nick.
Thank you for listening to The Sound Guys. My name is Neighborhood Nick. That was Johnny Banjo. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're on YouTube. Subscribe, leave a review, comment, and give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us today on The Sound Guys.
By far, one of our darkest episodes ever.
It was serious. Speaking of going dark, we're fading to black.
No.
And that's a wrap.
Jeez, Nick.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?